evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Pilates class. I hope you've had a good day despite the rain. Again, I might do a quick mic check just to make sure you can hear me. And I know yesterday there was some difficulties with delay on the mic and the video, so just hopefully today the streaming will work okay. Just again, before we start, everybody please take the class at their own pace. If you're getting any aches and pains, especially in joints, that's not what we're looking for. Like I said before, a little bit of muscle burn or the bum cheeks, calves, thighs, fronts of thighs, backs of thighs, all that sort of stuff working, that's great, but not any aches or pains in the lower back, neck, knees, ankles, wrists, that sort of thing. We don't want joint pain. So if you are getting that, try follow the cues that I give you to get out of that sort of pain. And if that doesn't work, do a different exercise that we can do, or stay with the easier version of the exercise. And failing all of that, please get in touch with me so that I can kind of give you a different position that might work for you, or a different exercise to do whenever we're doing that exercise. Okay, so let's get going again. I think, thank you, Martin. Yes, thank you very much. Okay, so we're going to start. Keep the feet together. So keep together, separate the toes all the way apart, and then follow the heels. So we're going to start again getting our foot position. So let's get our grounding. So rock from heel to toe, and then back onto the heel. And again, as you're doing this, I want you to think light through the arch of the foot. So think of that blueberry underneath the arch of the foot. You're staying nice and light, so you're bringing the weight a little bit more towards the outer edge of your foot as you're doing this. And roll all the way from the heel, all the way forward onto the toes, and then back onto the heels. And then I want you to find that middle point of your foot, so where the weight is midway between toe and heel, and you've gone light through the arch of the foot. Then working up from there, again, we're going to soften those knees, so just let them relax. Don't jam them back dead straight, just let them relax from side to side. Working up now towards our pelvis. So again, if you place your hands in that cupped position, so fingers on the front of the pelvis and the thumb cupped around in the back, you can get a sense of feeling for that bowl of water filled to the brim. And most of us, like I said, tip the bowl to the front, letting the water spill out. So we want to tuck that tail in between our legs to tip that water, tip the bowl back, sorry, so that we level it, so there's no water spilling out. So again, we're tucking the tailbone, sticking the tailbone out, and then tucking it in. So we're doing our. And again, this exercise is a tiny movement, really difficult to do in standing, but once you get it, you get it. As you're just seeing me here do it, it's a tiny movement. You can see from here, it's really small. And my knees aren't moving. They're in a softened position, but I'm not moving my knees to try and get the position. So you're keeping your knees relaxed, but they're not moving as you do it. And my upper body isn't moving either. So I'm not doing this sort of thing to get the movement, okay? So really try to just concentrate around the pelvic area to do it. So big tailbone tuck in between the legs, and then let it relax out. So we want most of us to tuck that tailbone in between the legs, so we level that bowl of water. From here, working up, I want you to let those ribs at the front sink nice and heavy, so we're not flaring them out in front. So tuck those ribs in and down. The ball of the shoulder then, working up, we're going to bring the ball of the shoulder back in line with the ear, and as we do that, you should feel the tip of the shoulder blade has moved down and across to the opposite side of the pelvis. And the same if you do the other shoulder, so it's literally just the ball of the shoulder going back in line with the ear. And again, the tip of the shoulder blade down here should feel like it's moving down across to the opposite side of the pelvis. Again, as you've done that, you should feel now that you've got a nice wide smile going from shoulder all across the collarbones to the opposite shoulder without sticking those ribs out. So keep those ribs nice and heavy. I want you to think of the magnet on the crown of the head. Again, lifting and pulling that crown all the way up towards the ceiling. So by doing that, you tuck the chin in ever so slightly and lengthen through the back of the neck. So this is our starting position. We're going to place the hands onto the base of the ribs, or the rib cage. Take a nice big breath in through the nose. And then breathing out, let everything sink down and in. So as we take our breath in, you feel the rib cage swell out into your hands, you feel your tummy swell out. And then breathing out, rib cage drops down and in, and tummy flattens. Again, breath in through the nose. On this one, as you breathe out, lift up and in that pelvic floor muscle inside. It's as if you're trying to stop yourself from passing wind. And then on your breath in, let everything relax. And breath out. Lift up and in the pelvic floor inside, or engage as we're going to call it from yawning. And breath in. Swelling that rib cage out, tummy swells out, and relax the pelvic floor. And then last one, breath out. Lift up and in that pelvic floor inside. And then we're going to relax. Excellent, well done. So I want you to place the hands into a prayer position now. So we're staying standing in our relaxed posture. Bring the hands into your prayer position. Take a nice big breath in through the nose. And breathing out, looking up to the ceiling, stretch those fingertips all the way up to the ceiling, relax the head back. Do a nice big circle with the fingertips as if you're doing a big huge yawn. Curl the chin towards the chest. Now curling down piece by piece through the spine, let the arms hang down in front. Go nice and slowly. When you get as far as you can go, I want you to take a nice big breath in. And then breathing out, bring those hands back into prayer position. Curling, stacking all the way up through the spine, stretch all the way up to the ceiling, to the ceiling, relax the head back. Nice big circle with those hands. Bring the chin towards the chest, curling down now again, piece by piece, all the way. Nice big breath in here. Breathing out, pushing up through the legs, back into the prayer position with the hands, stretching all the way up to the ceiling, relax the head back. Nice big circle with the hands, keep those ribs nice and heavy. Bring the chin towards the chest. We'll go one last time, curling down all the way towards the ground. Take a nice big breath in. And breathing out, push all the way up to the ceiling, stretch all the way up, head goes back. Nice big circle with the hands and back into the center. Well done. From here, we're going to go into position. So one foot, one step ahead of the other. Float both arms up to shoulder height. Tuck the tailbone in between the legs. Keep those ribs nice and heavy. We're going to do our arm opening overhead. So you're going to keep your left arm in the center as you bring your right arm with thumb leading up overhead. Once you get overhead, turn the palm facing out. And now I want you to turn to look behind you. So sweep that hand back behind you, shoulder level, and then sweep center. So again, remember, hand goes up to show overhead. Turn the palm out. Now turn the upper body to look to where your hand goes to as you sweep it back behind, back to shoulder level, and back into the center. This is a turning of the upper body, so it's not an arching or leaning back. We're turning that upper body as we look behind and then sweep the hand back into the center. So the breathing for this is breath in, as we go overhead, breath out, sweeping the hand back behind and back into the center. So we are staying on the right hand for this one. And we're going to do one last one. Turn that upper body to look behind and sweep that hand all the way back to the center. Lower both arms and give them a shake out. We're going to change foot. So put the other foot in front this time to the right step. Float both arms up to shoulder height. We're going to leave the right thumb in the center this time. Again, as we sweep the left arm up overhead. Now turn the palm facing out. Turn the upper body to look to where you sweep your arm back behind shoulder level and then sweep the arm back in. So again, the hips stay pointing forward as you turn the upper body. So again, think of those, the two tins of beams. So the bottom tin is your pelvis, doesn't move. The top tin then that's turning or twisting is your rib cage and upper body, and that should be turning on the upper body. So we're not arching back, you're staying still, keep those ribs nice and heavy as you turn to look to where your hand goes to and sweep the center. Again, breathing is breath in to go overhead, breath out as we sweep that hand back behind and come back to the center. Two more. Well done. Lower both arms and give it a little bit of a shake. Curl those shoulders up and back in nice big circles. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to bring those feet together. So zip those feet together as if you've got a zip going all the way from the toes, all the way up through the legs, inner thighs, and into the pelvis. So we're zipping those legs together. Keep the weight in the midfoot. Soft. Tuck the tailbone in between the legs. Keep those ribs nice and heavy. Bring both arms up overhead. Interlock the fingers and release the index finger. And we're just going to start to wave from side to side like a tree. Keep the arms either side of your ears if you can. Don't have them too far forward. And keep the shoulders over the pelvis. So you don't be leaning forward for this one. And we're just going to stay breathing nice and smoothly as you rock from side to side. As you're going through this, you can go a little bit further from side to side. And again, remember, imagine there's a string pulling your fingertips all the way out from your shoulders. So you're really trying to keep that length in your arms and you're stretching all and away from your shoulders go really out. Keep going from side to side. Keep those legs zipped together. And we're going to do one more to each side. Come back into the center. Tuck that tailbone in between the legs. Keep those ribs nice and heavy. Arms either side of your head, of your ears. Stretch all the fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. Take a nice big breath in. And breathing out. Stretch all the way over to the right hand side of the room. Again, keep the fingertips stretched out away from the shoulder joints. Stay breathing, keep those thighs and legs zipped together. And now we're going to look up towards the ceiling. And I want you to turn your lower armpit up towards the ceiling. And we're going to hold this stretch for 3, 2, and 1. Come back up into the center. Again, tuck the tailbone in. Keep the ribs nice and heavy. Stretch all the fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. Keep arms either side of your ears. Take a nice big breath in. And breathing out. Stretch all the way over to the left-hand side of the room. Again, keeping that nice stretch on the fingertips. Now stay breathing nice and smoothly. Keep those legs zipped together. You're going to look up towards the ceiling and turn the lower armpit up towards the ceiling. We're going to hold this stretch for 3, 2, and 1. Back up into the center, lower both arms, separate the feet, and give those shoulders a little bit of a curl out. Well done. Okay, next one, we're going to do our plie squat. So take a nice big wide stance on the mat. The wider you go, the better it is. And again, make sure you have grip. It's much easier to do it when your feet are gripped onto something. So turn the feet out about 45 degrees. Got a nice wide stance. As I'm going down into my squat, I'm staying light through that inner edge of or the arch of my foot, so the inner side of my foot. So I'm bringing my knee out towards my baby toe. That's the direction it's going. So keeping the knees nice and wide out towards the baby toe. Again, if you were to look down, you should be able to see the big toe in the inside of your knee, but again, you're not looking down. You're keeping those shoulders stacked on top of your pelvis, so no leaning forward. Again, it's as we go down into our squat, it's a breath in to go down, and as we're pushing up into standing, it's a breath out to push up into standing. As you're pushing up again, don't snap those legs quickly back up into standing. Drive up through those heels, but do it in a nice controlled way, so nice and slowly. Push up into standing, well done. Keep those knees out towards the little toe. We're going to add in the arms, so cross the arms in front as if you're cradling a baby, palms pointing in towards you. We're going to hold in front, and as we sweep up we're going to sweep up overhead as we push into standing, cross up overhead, and then coming back down into a squat, sweep in front. Now that you've added the arms in, really be aware of your upper body because you will tend to lean forward with the weight of your arms. So really keep those shoulders on top of on the pelvis. So you might need to lean back in the upper body. Again, as we're pushing up, we're driving up through our heels, pushing all the way into standing. Keep those knees nice and wide. So knee out towards the little toe, and again, light into the foot. Imagine you're trying to find that blueberry that's sitting on the foot. I'm going to do 2 more. And last one. Well done. Lower the arms, step the feet together, and you can give the legs a little bit of a shake out. So the next one we're going to do, we're going to warm up the calf muscles. So I'm going to get you to step. We're going to go to the stride step if you can. If you can't and you find the balance is too difficult, just come back to where you stand, hip width apart. So we're going to go to that stride step position. And we're just going to go up onto the tiptoes and then back down. So up onto the tiptoes and back down. Because we've changed the base of support here, it's a little bit, your balance might be challenged ever so slightly. That's no harm. Well done. So I've weight kind of evenly through both of my feet as I'm going up and down. And again, watch as you're going up and down. Tuck that tailbone in between your legs. Keep those ribs nice and heavy. Keep nice and wide across the front of your chest, front of your shoulders, and keep the length in the back of the neck. So imagine that magnet pulling the head all the way up towards the ceiling. Okay, to make it a little bit more difficult, we're going to change position though. We're going to bring the other foot out in front this time. So change over, place the other foot out in front of your stride step. We're going to go up on our tiptoes again. You might find a difference one side compared to the other. And we're going to do it a little bit faster. Okay, so we're going to go up. We're going to go for 10. We're going to go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Give those legs a little bit of a shake out. You deserve it after that. Okay, so we're going to go into our squats today. Like we were doing the last day, we were shifting over to one side. We're going to build on that a little bit today. So back into our squat position. You stand a little bit wider than hip width apart, feet pointing straight ahead. We're going to keep those knees nice and wide. So as we're going down into our squat, again, you're thinking Blueberry underneath the arch of the foot. You're staying light through the arch of the foot. Knees are going out towards the little toe. So again, if you were to look down, you should be easily able to see your big toe on the inside of your knee. So you're directing your knees out towards your little toe. Again, the weight is mainly in the outer edge of the foot and in the heel. So if you were to see from the side, my knees are not going forward over my toes. So the weight is mainly in the back part of my foot and in my heels. And as I go down, my knee is not moving forward over my toes. And in fact, I can wiggle my toes a little bit as I go down here. Again, to start, you might need to tuck the tailbone in between the legs and now go down into your squat position. So we're keeping those knees nice and wide, directing them out towards the little toes. So again, imagine the doors of a lift are pushing in on your legs and you're trying to keep your knees out to keep those lift doors open. As we go down to the squat, raise up your hands, and as you come up and standing lower. And again, we'll add the breathing in, so it's a breath in to go down, and breath out, pushing up through those heels. So we're going to add in now. So this time as we go down to our squat, we're going to shift the weight over towards the right leg and push up into standing. We're going to go back to the center, down into our squat, shift the weight over to the left leg and push up into standing. Back into the center. Squat, shift the weight to the right, push up into standing. Squat, shift the weight to the left, push up into standing. Squat, weight over to the right. Again, breathing out as you come up, pushing up through the heel into standing. Come back to center. Squat, bring the weight over to the left, push up through the left heel into standing. One more in each leg, back to center, squat, shift the weight over to the right, push back up into standing, squat, shift the weight to the left, push back up into standing. So we're going to build on this a little bit. We're going to do a side lunge. So from here, I'm going to take a nice wide step. Again, my feet are still pointing straight ahead. They're not turned out like the PA squat. They're turned straight ahead. I'm going to shift my weight. And again, keep my upper body nice and straight. I'm going to shift my weight all the way over. Shift my weight all the way over onto my right leg. Again, I'm still following my principles of my knees going towards my little toe. I'm staying light into the arch of the foot. The weight is mainly on my heel. I'm keeping my left knee straight. And I'm rolling onto the inner edge of my left foot. So in onto the arch of my foot. I'm really sticking my bum out behind as I come down into my squat or side lunge. And now I'm going to push back up through my right heel, back up into standing. Come back up into the center. So again, we'll start in the center. I'm going to take a nice big step out to the left. Shift all the way over to the left hand side. Again, knees going out over the little toe. Keeping the right leg straight, rolling in onto the inner arch of the right foot. Stick my bum all the way. Push up into standing using my left leg. And again, back out to the right. Keep the feet pointing straight ahead. Right knee out over the little toe. Straighten the right knee. Push it all the way back up into standing using the right heel. Step out to the left. Bring the left knee over the little toe. Get light into the arch of the foot. Stick that bum really far out behind. Keep the left or the right leg straight, rolling into the inner edge of the right foot. And I'm going to push all the way back up into standing using my left leg. Again, out to the right. Shift the weight to the right. Squat down. Keep the body up nice. And straight back to the side. Actually, I'm going to do one from the side so you can see what I'm doing. So I do a big step out. Right. Stand over here a little bit. Do a big step out to the right, shifting my weight over to the right side. Can you see how far I stick my bum out behind? I'm bending at the hips. I'm not bending my back. I'm bending at the hips. And then I push all the way back up into standing. And the same on the opposite side. Step out to the left. Bring my knee over my little toe. Stick the bum all the way out. And then push up into standing. Okay, so we're going to do 2 or 3 more to each side. Big step to the right. Shift the weight to the right. Knee goes over little toe. Stick the bum out behind. Push up into standing. Over to the left. Knee over little toe. Roll the weight onto the inner side of the right foot. Push back up into standing using the left leg. And again, the breathing. It's breath in as you go down. Breath out to push up into standing. Stay looking straight ahead. So we're bending at the hips. But we're keeping the upper body relatively straight. And back into standing. Well done, well done. Give those legs a little bit of a shake out. The next thing we're going to do from here, we're going to go into we're going to do some balancing exercises first, apologies. So I want you to get into, we're going to do the arm movement first, and then we're going to add in the leg positioning. So the movement is, we're going to bend the elbows by our sides with the palms pointing up towards the ceiling. So you're in, this is called the offering, and you can see why. So elbows are tucked in, elbows are bent to 90 degrees, and palms are tucked by the side. Again, do all of your basics. Tuck the tailbone in between the legs, soften the knees, keep the ribs nice and heavy in front, and open up the front of the shoulders. From here, you're going to stretch the arms out to shoulder height, hands pointing up, again as if you're offering somebody some food. Then you're going to open the arms all the way out to the side. And as you do this, watch that those ribs stay nice and heavy, don't flare them out. And then you're going to lower down with the palms pointing still out. Starting position again is bend the elbows, palms pointing up. Stretch the arms out to shoulder height. Open the arms out to the side, and then lower the arms down. So we're going to do that now, this time standing on one leg. So I'm going to get you to stand onto your left leg, sock through the arch of the foot, relax the knee, so soften the knee, clench the bum cheek, float the right leg up to hip height if you can. Get into your starting position with your hands, so hands by the side, elbows bent. Stretch out as if you're offering the food. Open the arms out, and then lower down. Bend the elbows. Stretch to offer the food out. Open the arms out and down by the side. Bend the elbows. Offer in front. Open the arms out. Lower down by the side. Bend the elbows. Offer in front. Open the arms out. Lower down by the side. Well done. We're going to add breathing into this. Breath in to bend the elbows. Breath out. Stretch the arms out in front. Breath in to go to the sides. Breath out to lower by your side. Keep that right knee up if you can. Breath in, bend the elbows. Breath out, offer in front. Breath in, open out to the side. Breath out, down to by your side. One last one. Breath in, bend the elbows. Breath out, offer in front. Breath in, open out to the sides. And breath out, lower down to the sides. Now you can lower that right leg. Give the left leg a little bit of a shake out. We're going to place all the weight now onto the right leg. So place all the weight onto the foot, soften, again, light through the arch of the foot, soften the knee, clench the bum cheek, stay up nice and strong, so we don't want no hips dropping down to the side. Bring the left knee, if you can, up to hip height. We're going to do the same thing here again, so, well, we're going to start with bend the elbows, offer out to the sides. This time we're going to turn the palms so they're pointing down, so the back of the hands pointing to the ceiling. We're going to float the arms out to either side, and we're going to do some circles with the arms out nice and long. So we're going to imagine your middle finger, you've got a pencil on your middle finger, and you're drawing little circles on either wall of the room. You're going to draw small little circles, or you can do like figure of eights, but I'm going to say drawing circles in one direction first. Again, keep those shoulders at shoulder height, so let them creep up into your ears. Keep the arms out away from your body at shoulder level, so again, not letting them come in front a little bit. And again, remember there's a string pulling those fingertips all the way out from your shoulder. So you're keeping lovely, long, straight arms. And now we're going to change direction of those circles. Stay breathing. If you can, keep that left knee up at hip height. Keep that right knee softened. Tuck the tailbone in and keep those ribs nice and heavy. Well done. Now we're going to go for 3, 2, and 1. Lower those arms down, lower the leg down, toe heel. Give those shoulders a bit of a curl out. In fact, we might actually scrunch those shoulders up towards your ears and then just let them drop down. And one more, scrunch those shoulders all the way up to your ears and let them drop down again, nice and heavy. Well done. For those of you who can't place weight through your hands, I'm going to get you to do your calf stretch against the wall. So just one foot ahead of the other and bend back the front knee as you keep the back leg nice and straight. For those of you that can join me, I want you to stand at the end of your mat. We're going to do a roll down here again. So keep feet hip width apart. Take a breath in to start and breathing out. Bring your chin towards your chest. Curling down all the way down onto the mat. Walk down to where you can go without bending your knees. And when you get as far as that, I want you to bend your knees. Place the palms of your hand down onto the mat. Walk out as far as you need to so that you can get the knees Now you can come up into a fisted position if you'd like to take the pressure off the wrists. And I'm going to get you to bend and straighten your knees just to stretch out those calf muscles. So you're pushing your heel in one at a time in towards the mat. Keep the back nice and straight. So tuck that tailbone in between the legs. Again, think of the length in the back of the neck. So imagine that magnet pulling the crown of the head towards the front of the room. So you're tucking the chin ever so slightly to keep nice length in the back of your neck. We're going to place all the weight over into the right foot now. So I want you to place the right heel as close to the ground as you can. Straighten the right knee. Put the left foot over the back of the right ankle. You're going to stay breathing as you hold this stretch. 10, 9, 8. Push the heel in a little bit more. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now change over. Place all the weight on the left leg. Try to straighten the left knee as much as you can. Push the heel into the mat. Stay breathing as you hold this stretch for 10, 9, 8. Again, try to push that heel into the mat a little bit more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now place both feet back onto the mat and come down to your high knee, into your 4-point kneeling. And we're going to go into high kneeling from here. So from here, we're going to do the same, the offering movement as we were doing in standing on one leg. So this time, if you have your band, or your beautiful tights as I have, I'm going to get you to wrap them around the back, at around roughly kind of, if you were a female, bra strap level, or just underneath your shoulder blades is probably the best place to place it. You're going to come up into high kneeling, and again, as you're in high kneeling, just really watch that you're not sticking that bum out. You really have to tuck that tailbone in between your legs and push the front of your pelvis forward. So you should feel like you're clenching your bum cheek to get yourself into that position. I'm going to take a nice fine grip onto my band. So I'm actually going to wrap the legs of these tights around my hands quite a bit, just so I get a good stretch on them. I've got my knees hip width apart. Again, I've tucked the tailbone in and I'm clenching my bum cheek to really push the front of my pelvis forward. I'm staying in my high kneeling position, and I'm going to do my offering again. So keep the ribs nice and heavy. So imagine the weight on the front of the ribs here as well too. So your elbows bent with the palms pointing up, elbows tucked in by the side, palms pointing up towards the ceiling. We're going to stretch the band out in front, up to shoulder height, open out to the sides, and then lower down by the side. I'm going to do a little bit of tinkering with your band here. So again, bend the elbows by the side, stretch out in front, open all the way out to the side, and then lower down. Bend the elbows, stretch out in front, open out to the sides, and then lower down. Again, we're going to add in a little bit of the leg movement. So sit back onto your heels, elbows bent, and as you come up to offer out in front, you're coming up into your high kneeling position, open out, and then lower down to come down by your side. Bend the elbows. Come up into high kneeling, stretching that band out in front. Open out to the sides, lower down onto the heels. Bend the elbows. Stretch out in front as you come up. Open the arms out, lower down. Bend the elbows. As you're coming up, you clench those bum cheeks. Open out to the sides and lower down. Something you can do is push those heels together behind. So if you watch me here, if you push those heels together as you do this, so my knees are apart, but my heels are together, elbows bent, and pushing up. Again, squeeze those heels together. You feel the bum cheeks working a little bit more as you do this. Elbows bent. Keep those heels pushed together. They bring the arms out in front, stretch out to the sides, and lower down. Well done. We're going to just do 2 more of those. So again, bend the elbows, push up into high kneeling. Keep those heels squeezed together, stretch down, and last one, up into high kneeling, squeeze those heels together, open out, and down we go. Well done. From here, we're going to go into our lunge position. So I'm going to get you to, if you can, try not to use your hands. So tuck the tailbone in between your legs, bring the left foot out in front. Again, the biggest problem people have is they don't give themselves enough room, so they usually have to put a foot in here. So make sure your foot is stepped far enough ahead. And then, like I said before, make sure you're on the 2 train tracks, knees, hip and foot are parallel to each other. So you might need to actually bring your hand down and bring that right leg a little bit out wider to the side, so that you are in that train track position. You don't have one foot on top of the other like a tandem tightrope. So again, my knee is sitting over my ankle. My knee is directed out towards my little toe. I'm light under the arch of the foot here. I've tucked my tailbone in. My ribs are nice and heavy. This is the starting position. So we're going to do the arm opening again in this position. And for some of you, you might want to join me in curling the toe up behind the back, and you can actually come up into your lunge position. So we're going to just hover about an inch off the ground, float the arms up to shoulder height. I'm going to keep the left thumb in the center as I sweep the right arm up overhead. Again, as I turn the arm, I'm looking behind me and sweeping back to the center. So again, arm goes up overhead, turn the palm out. Now I look back to where my hand goes to, and I sweep back to the center. This is a tough one. Arm up overhead, turn the palm out, look back to where the hand goes to, and back to the center. Watch that you're keeping that tailbone tucked in and you're not arching your back. Arm up overhead, turn the palm out, look back to where the arm goes to, and back to the center. We'll do one more. Arm up overhead, turn the palm out, sweep back to where the arm goes to, and back to the center. And now we're going to lower down out of our lunge position. Well done. I'm going to change sides. So I'm going to bring the right foot out in front. Again, make sure I've got enough space here. So my right knee is over my ankle. It's directed out towards my little toe and light into the arch of the foot. I've given myself enough space. Again, my left leg is out far enough to the side here. So I'm hip width apart with my two legs essentially. Again, I've tucked my tailbone in. That's really important for this one. Tuck that tailbone in so you don't arch back. I'm going to curl my toes up underneath behind me. And I'm going to push up using my right foot. So the foot that's in front, using the right heel. So really driving up through that right heel. Float both arms up to shoulder height. Keep the right in the center. I'm going to bring the left arm up overhead. And I'm going to turn the body to look to where my arm goes behind and back into the center. Again, if this is too difficult, just come down into the lunge position and do the same exercise down there. Or do one or two of them if you can't. So we're going to push up through the right heel. Right arm or left arm up overhead. Turn my body to look to where my thumb goes to and sweep back to the center. Arm up overhead. Turn to where my body goes to and back to the center. Arm up overhead. Sweep the arm back behind and back to the center. Again, breathing for this is breath in, going overhead. Breath out as you turn the upper body and back to the center. I'm going to do one last one. Well done. Lower down to the knees, lower both arms. Well done. From here, we're going to go down onto all fours. I'm going to get you to tuck that tailbone in between your legs. I'm going to sit all the way back onto the heels just to loosen that back out. So get a nice little shell stretch going on here. So I just want you to take some nice big deep breaths in. And breath out. Nice big breath in again. Feeling the tummy swell out and the base of the ribs swell out as well too. And then breath out. From here, I want you to stretch your fingertips all the way out straight. And you're going to walk your fingertips all the way over to the right hand side of your mat. So you should feel a nice pull down on the left hand side of the body. We're going to hold this stretch for 10, 9, 8. Stay breathing. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now walk the fingertips all the way over to the other side of the mat. And again, you should feel a nice pull down on the opposite side of the body. So for me, I've got to the left, so I'm feeling the stretch on the right. And I'm going to stay breathing as I hold this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to come back up onto all fours. I'll just change the position here so you can see me a little bit better. My hands are just slightly ahead of my shoulders. My knees are directly underneath my hips. And again, I'm tucking my tailbone in ever so slightly so that I'm keeping my back nice and flat. So this time, imagine that bowl of water is now sitting on my back and I don't want any of it to spill. So I'm not going to have a big dip in my back, nor do I have it all the way curled up. It's just nice and level, I suppose. Again, watch when you're doing any exercise in this position, you're not rocking forward and back, so your hips are staying directly over your knees. And again, your foot position, so knee, hip, and shoulder, is literally hip width apart. So there's a nice even gap between both your knees and your feet. Holding this nice still position. So again, I've lifted up and in my pelvic floor muscle really to help me to control this position. So that's how I'm keeping this nice position here. I'm going to stay breathing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by, we're going to do a Superman exercise here. So The biggest part of this exercise is actually keeping control here. So if you're moving or you feel like you're arching and moving as you start to add in movement with your arms, go back to the easier version, okay? So start off by hovering the right, so I'm going to place all the weight to my right hand. I'm going to hover my left hand in the air. And I'm going to hover my right knee in the air. If you can keep that position without the back moving, then we can go on to the next step. So the next step, I'm going to stretch out my left arm. I'm going to try to stretch out my right leg behind me. And again, think string is pulling my fingertips all the way out away from my shoulder and pulling my toes all the way out to my hips. And I'm going to bring both back in. If your back was arching as you were doing that, then I'm going to get you to just bring right arm out in front and slide. Okay, rather than lifting the leg up in the air. If you're able to do it, we're going to do a breath in to start. And breathing out, stretch opposite arm and leg all the way out. Stay up into the front edge of your mat or even down between your hands. So you have to think, tuck that chin in between as you're doing this. So keep a nice length in the back of your neck. Again, keep control, tuck the tailbone in between the legs. Breath in and breathing out. Stretch those fingertips away from your shoulders and stretch the toes all the way out from the hip joint. And the aim of this is to keep a nice flat back or level back as you're doing it. Watch as you're doing it that the arm is going directly out away from the shoulders. So it's not wandering out to the side. And the same with the leg, that it's not wandering out to the side. It's staying directly behind your hip joints. And again, with lovely, long, elegant arms and legs. So this should be a graceful movement. And we do our breath out. On the movement, breath in to come back to center. I'm just going to do one more each side. Back into center. We're going to tuck that tailbone in between your legs. Sit all the way back to your heels. You can relax the head. Bring the hands into a fisted position. Circles with the wrists, just to loosen them all the way out. Okay, from here we're going to go onto our sides. And we're just going to do a stretch for our muscles at the front of our legs. So for our quads. Actually, we'll stretch the arm all the way out nice and long. Bend up the bottom knee. Grab a hold of the top leg, so bring the heel to the bone. Bring the knee all the way back in line with the hip and with the shoulder. Keep it at hip height, don't have it up too high or down too low. Tuck the tailbone in between the legs, it's really important. Really try to bring that knee back in line with your hip. You should feel a nice pull down along the front of your thigh muscle now. Give the bum cheek a little clench. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. We're going to go and do our arm opening from here. So move all the way to the front of your mat so you've got space behind you. Bring your legs into that 90-90 position. So heels one on top of the other, knees one on top of the other, and hips one on top of the other. Nudge the top hip forward and down away from the top shoulder so you create that arch under your spine. Bring both arms to hip or out shoulder height. Release the thumbs and you're going to sweep the top arm all the way up and back behind you. Keep those legs zipped together and sweep the arm back. So again, it's breath in to start and breathing out. Sweep that arm all the way up and over behind. Breath in to come back to center. Find your breath out. Try engage, so try lift up and in the pelvic floor muscle. As you're sweeping that arm all the way up and back behind. And breath in to come back to center. Okay, from here, I want you to bring those legs back in behind you. So you're going to bring your legs together. So keep the feet stacked on top of each other, knees together, and hips together. I'm going to come up into nearly like a side lying position. I'm bringing my hand directly underneath my shoulder. My knees are in line, I suppose, really with my hand, and my hips are back behind ever so slightly. And from here, I'm just going to lift my hips up. So I'm trying to keep my knees in line with my hips, in line with my shoulders, up off the mat, and then I'm going to lower back down again. So my elbow is straight. I'm just lowering and raising my hips up and down off the mat. If you'd like, you can place your lower hand down the mat to help you do that initial push up, and then down you go. You can bend the elbow slightly if it helps to bring you up and down, but try stay looking straight ahead. You're trying to keep when you come up into this position, your hips and knees should be in a line. We're going to do 2 more. You can add the arm up overhead. And we're going to do 1 and 2. Super. And down. We're going to change over to the other side. We'll do that one first to get it out of the way. So again, bring the hand underneath the shoulder. Fingertips are pointing long away from me. My knees are stacked one on top of the other, feet together, hips together. My heel of my hand and the front of my knees are in a line with each other, and my hips are back away from that line. Okay? From here again, I'm just going to push up, stay looking straight ahead, so that my shoulders, pelvis, and knees are in a straight line. And down I go. And again, I'm looking straight ahead. I can keep my upper arm pointing up towards the ceiling. And we're just lifting the hips up and lowering down. Lifting those hips up and lowering down. Again, it's a breath out. Lift up. Breath in to lower down. Let's do 2 more. And last one. Well done. Lower down. After that one. Okay, so we're going to do our quad stretch. So stretch the arm out nice and straight. Bend the bottom knee all the way up. Grab a hold of the top ankle. Bring your knee back in line with your hip and with your shoulder. Try really bring that knee all the way back in line. That's a really good one to do. Keep the knee at hip height. Don't have it up too high or down too low. Clench the bum cheek. Tuck the tailbone in between the legs. And you're going to hold this stretch for 10, 9, 8, 7, 5. Stay breathing. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Move all the way towards the front of your mat. Bring your rolled up towel to the front of your mat too, and bring your head to the front of your rolled up towel. So put the legs into the 90 to top it forward and down away from the top shoulder, so you've created that arch underneath your spine. Float both arms out to shoulder height. Release the thumbs. Breath in to start. Sweep that top arm all the way up and back behind. Breath in to come back to center. Again, keep the legs zipped together. And as you're sweeping the arm up overhead and doing your breath out, try and engage. Let's do 2 more. Well done. We're going to go onto our backs from here. So onto your back. Again, start with your feet together. So feet and knees, your heels together as you separate your toes all the way apart, and then follow where your heels now in line with your toes. So your feet are pointing straight ahead. Feet, knees, and hips are again hip width apart, and they're like they're on the parallel train tracks. I'm going to bring my heels in ever so slightly closer in towards my bum. I'm going to sink my ribs nice and heavy in towards the back of the mat. Keep nice and wide across the front of the shoulders. So think of that nice wide smile going from shoulder to shoulder across the collarbones. And again, I'm imagining that magnet pulling the crown of my head all the way towards the back wall of the room. So I'm tucking my chin in ever so slightly and lengthening the back of the neck. My hands are nice and long by the side of my body with the palms pointing down. From here, we're going to just do our little pelvic tilt. So I want you to tuck the tailbone in between the legs, rolling the lower back onto the mat, and then relax. And again, the breathing here is breath in to start, and breathing out. Roll the lower back onto the mat. Breath in, relax. Again, breathing out. Tuck that tailbone in between the legs. Breath in to relax. As you're doing your breath out and tucking the tailbone in between the legs, you probably should feel that little lift up inside. So we call that our engage. Just do two more. And last one. Now I want you to keep the lower back, like I said before, not jammed onto the mat, but I do want you to keep this so that you have the skin in contact with the mat. So if I were to slide my hand in, I wouldn't be able to get it in there. And from here, we're going to do our ab prep. So again, remember your ribs are the letter, and you're going to post them into the center of your pelvis. So the direction of the ribs is down and sliding under the front bone of your pelvis, if you like. So you're sliding down and in. It's important to get our breathing right as well too. So it's breath in to start and breathing out. Engage for this one certainly. So breathing out, lift up and in the pelvic floor muscle, and then as we continue breathing out, roll up off the mat. For the head position, some of you might want to place the two hands behind the back of the head. Keep those elbows nice and wide. You don't pull them in front. Rest the head onto your hands. Stay looking straight ahead at the ceiling. And as you're doing your breath in and breathing out, breathe out, engage for a millisecond. Now I want you to stay looking towards the ceiling. Look down towards the edge of the ceiling and the wall. As you roll up, stay breathing out. And then breath in to lower back down. So you're keeping nice length in the back of that neck. You're just tucking the chin in ever so slightly. So again, imagine there's a ripe peach there, and you're keeping the chin tucked in just enough to keep. Again, after a few seconds, sink the head back into the hands. So the hands aren't pulling your head forward. You're resting your head on your hands. And really important, you're doing your breathing out and engaging just a second before you start to roll up, and then continue to roll up. And on your breath in, I want you to roll back down. If you find using the two hands a bit annoying, place one hand down by your side, nice and long, with the palm down, and the other hand behind the head. And you can achieve the same effect. So you're sliding the hand down along the mat as you roll up, and it's coming back up beside you as you come back down to the mat. Keep those ribs nice and heavy. Keep them nice and wide. So don't pull the elbow down out in front. Tuck the chin in, stay looking towards the ceiling. And we're just going to do one last one. Well done, lower down. From here, you can just rock the neck from side to side, the head from side to side, just to relax the neck out. There you go. And from here, we're going to go into tabletop. So again, tuck the tailbone ever so slightly in between your legs. I want you on a breath out. Float the left leg up into tabletop. Breath in, we're going to lower. Breath out. Right leg into tabletop. Breath in, lower. So again, if you place your hands onto those bony parts in the front of your pelvis, as you're raising each leg up one at a time, you're checking that there's no rocking of the pelvis from side to side. You're also checking that the lower back isn't popping up off the mat. So one more on each side. Bring the left leg up into tabletop, and we're going to keep it there. And if you can, on a breath out, you're going to bring the right leg up to joint.
If you found that the lower back popped up off the mat as you did this, you might want to stay with just one leg in the tabletop position. But if you can, you're going to bring both legs up into the tabletop position. Nice and long by the side of the body. And that connection we were just making between the ribs and the pelvis, so that shortening we were doing as we were doing our ab prep, we're going to try to keep that in mind as we're going to float one arm up overhead, bring it back down, and bring the other arm up overhead, and bring it back down. So thumb is leading. Keep your legs in the tabletop position. And what we're watching for here is that your ribs aren't popping up away from the mat. So you're really trying to keep the lower ribs nice and short, the distance between the lower ribs and the pelvis nice and short. So again, we're going to breath out, stretch overhead, breath into lower. You can keep those legs squeezed together. So imagine the zip going all the way from the toes through the inner legs, all the way up into the pelvis. And now we're going to scissors the arm. So keep the left arm down, bring the right arm all the way up overhead. And now we're going to do the opposite. Bring the right down as you can stretch the left up overhead. So it's a breath in to bring the hands to center. Breath out, stretch them apart. One more each side. Bring both arms down by your side, hands pointing down. Now we're going to bring one leg down, toe, heel, and then bring the other leg down, toe, heel. Well done. From here, I'm going to get you to bring the feet together. So keep those feet, knees, and hips. And imagine that zip again on the inner side of the legs. Bring both arms out, stretch them out, hands pointing up at shoulder height. I'm going to rock the legs all the way over to one side of the room, and then bring back to center and rock them all the way over to the other side of the room. Breath in as you bring the legs down to the side, breath out, bring the legs back to the center, breath in, lowering to the other side. As you come back through the center, tuck the tailbone in between your legs. So try and get the lower back in contact with the mat as much as you can as you come through center, and then lower to the opposite side. Keep those feet and knees together. So again, imagine they're zipped together. And we just do one more to each side. Well done. From here, we're going to come back into that nice long position. Apologies. So we're going to keep feet in line with hips and with shoulders. Walk those heels all the way back into your closer towards your bum. Keep the arms nice and long on the side of the body. Ribs nice and heavy. Open the shoulders, and again, tuck the chin towards the chest. So keep the length in the back of the neck. And we're going to do our pelvic tilt. So breath in, breathing out. Tuck the tailbone in between the legs. Heel all the way up. Keep coming all the way up as we go up into our bridge position. Well done. And then we'll lower down, sinking down through the ribs first, and then lower down onto the mat. Again, breath in and breathing out. Tuck the tailbone in, so roll the lower back all the way onto the mat. Heel all the way up. Keep lifting the pelvis all the way up, nice and high without. Keep those ribs nice and heavy as you come up into the bridge position. If you can stay here, we'll stay up in this position for a little bit if you can. If you're getting cracks in the backs of the hamstrings, or if you're getting a pinch in the lower back, roll back down, sink heavy through the ribs, down onto the mat, and get yourself into the right position. Tuck the tailbone between the legs, or bring the heels close to the bum and come back up to join me. If you manage to stay up in this position, well done. Keep the pelvis up nice and high. We're going to do the same thing with the arms. So I'm going to stretch the left arm all the way up overhead. So keep the right arm down on my side. And now I'm going to scissors my arms up and down from side to side. So again, I'm thinking, keep the distance between my ribs and my pelvis nice and short. Keep the pelvis up nice and high. So again, clenching my bum cheek for this. Again, it's breath in, bring the hands to center. Breath out, stretch them out overhead. Keep that pelvis nice and high. Clench the bum cheek. Don't let those ribs stick out. Stretch those fingertips all the way out away from your shoulder joints. Going to do one last one on each side. Well done. Lower both arms and now roll down, sink down nice and heavy through your ribs all the way down onto the mat. Well done, piece by piece. Bring both knees in towards your chest. Hold the arms out in front of the shins and just rock from side to side. From here, we're going to stretch the left leg out all the way out nice and straight. I'm going to grab a hold behind my right thigh. I'm going to try to stretch out my right knee as straight as I can. I'm going to stay breathing nice and smoothly. Keep the arms nice and relaxed. And we're going to hold for 10, 9, 8. Try to stretch that knee a little bit straighter. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And swap legs. So slide right out. Bring the left knee to the chest. Grab a hold behind the thighs. Straighten that knee out as straight as you can go. Stay breathing. And you're going to hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, keep the left foot on the mat, left knee bent. Cross the right ankle over the top of the left knee. With both hands, grab a hold of the back of the left thigh and bring the left knee towards your chest. Keep the arms nice and relaxed. Should feel a nice pull down along the right bum cheek. We're going to hold this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to lower that leg down. Bring the right foot down onto the mat, keep the knee bent, cross the left ankle over the front of the right knee, grab a hold behind the right thigh, and bring the right knee towards your chest. Stay breathing and keep those arms nice and relaxed as you're going to hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. We're going to roll over onto our sides and come up into high kneeling. So from here, we're on all fours, up into the high kneeling position. We're going to try our lunge, and again, try not to use your hands if you can. So I'm going to bring my left leg all the way out in front. Again, bring my knee over my ankle, direct it out towards my little toe. This time I can place my hand onto my thigh, tuck my tailbone in between my legs, keep the ribs nice and heavy, stretch the right arm all the way up into the air. Now I'm going to bring my left knee out towards my little toe, stretch the right arm up and over towards the left hand side, give the bum cheek a clench, and the right one clench, and I should feel a nice big pull along the front of my right hip and side. I'm going to hold this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And we're going to change over. So again, bring the legs back in if you can and out. Onto anything. Give yourself a leg long enough for the step. Right hand onto your thigh, knee out over your little toe. Keep light into the arch of the foot. Tuck the tailbone in. Stretch that left hand all the way up into the air. Bring the right knee out over the little toe. Left arm all the way up and across the right hand side. Give the bum cheek a good clench and should feel a nice pull down on the front of the left hip and the side of the body. You're going to hold the stretch for 10, 9, 8, stay breathing, 6, 3, 2, and 1. Now curling the toes behind you, all the way up underneath. We're going to push up, driving up through the front leg, so underneath my right leg, driving up through my heel, and I'm moving forward as I do it. So I'm pushing all the way up through my heel, my right knee is going over back to toe, and I come up into standing. Again, from here, we'll just do one last roll down, so feet hip width apart, hands back into the prayer position. Take a nice big breath in, breathing out, stretch all the way up to the ceiling, keep those ribs nice and heavy, relax the head back, nice big circle as if you're doing a big stretch, chin towards your chest, a big yawn even. Curling down piece by piece all the way down towards the ground. Take a nice big breath in and breathing out, pushing up through those legs all the way up into standing again. Stretch right up to the ceiling, fingertips up as far as you can, relax the head back, and one final big circle like you're doing a big yawn and back into the center. Well done everyone. Thank you for joining me for class tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a good and safe week. Take care and I'll see you next week. Thank you.